Howdy do y'all, this is John, and today we are talking about Big George Foreman, a new movie out in theaters right now. And then Big George Foreman, it deals with the famous boxer Big George Foreman and his boxing career from its beginning to its end, and also his insanely successful attempt at a comeback years later. Okay, so getting into it, first and foremost, what I liked about the movie. I genuinely liked the guy who played Big George Foreman in the movie. I forget the guy's name, but he is just insanely good as George Foreman. He is partially responsible for you wanting to root for George Foreman throughout most of the movie, because he did a really good job at portraying just who this guy was. And speaking of George Foreman, you are also shown exactly why you should root for George Foreman. Because George Foreman is the case of the Cinderella man, so to speak. He started at the bottom. He grew up in poverty. He had every pinpoint in his direction towards life, shooting straight at possibly him getting involved in crime, but instead he decided to do something else. And he ended up arguably being one of the most successful boxers in history. And also the one with probably one of the coolest comeback stories I've ever heard. You root for this guy to succeed. You panic for him when he's failing. You feel sad for him when things just aren't going in the way that they should for him. That is the sign of really good character development. And also how well this movie was executed. For the most part, everything meshes together and you have a pretty entertaining movie. You have a movie with a good story about an underdog. Boxing scenes are well made. However, there is an elephant in the room. That is the pacing. The pacing almost destroyed this movie. I think it was a little too slow. I didn't exactly like that, the really overtly slow nature of the pacing in the movie. There's also this one subplot in the movie that just gets wrapped up way too quickly. This one section of the movie dealing with Foreman and his first marriage. I understand why they put that there, but they did not focus on that long enough. Overall, Big George Foreman, I thought it was a fine movie. It had a pretty good story. I really liked the main character. I liked the actor who played him. It's not woke, but it does have a bit of a pacing issue, and some of the subplots, they didn't really focus on them enough. I'm gonna give Big George Foreman a 7. Well, that's all the time I have for today. Please hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. Please also subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, please remember, the Budget Ski will return.